do the work on the little things, on the day things. It's your knee-jerk reactions to things. That's where you want to do the work. Those things that just irritate you. Those things that irritate you. So something irritates you, and with good reason. You're not making it up, but you're irritated and your inner being isn't. You're irritated and your inner being isn't. That's something to think about. So as you're irritated, you're activating something that's going to attract more and more and more and more. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So when we teach selfishness, when we say self-interest is a real thing, we mean the self that is you and this personality that is thinking and walking around with a bag of marbles that is really attractive. Your self-interest, you want to merge this self-interest with the self-interest that you and your inner being has established. And if you don't take the time to merge those two bags of marbles, yours and what you're thinking right now and your inner being's who's got everything that you want in mind, then you are the one that's depriving yourself of your fortunes, not the other people that you're giving stuff to. Did you sort of hear that? This pie, whether it's abundance of money or abundance of health or abundance of clarity, let's just say money for now. This pie is not a finite pie that's just so big and you're slicing it up, and if you get too big of a piece, somebody else won't. Or if you give somebody else too big of a piece, you won't get enough. That's pumpkin pie, but that's not what these desire pies are about. They grow exponentially to satisfy the desires of everyone. Every time anybody asks for anything, even if they're not saying the positive words, even if they're asking for this by saying, I can't stand this, they're still proportionally asking for this. Can you imagine what this vortex must look like with all of humanity that is right now asking for things? And if you can accept that source energy is unequivocally, with no resistance, focused upon those requests, and then you can accept that your work is to focus on what's there, not try to defend or justify getting it by being discouraged about what hasn't happened yet, it will start showing up for you, and you'll be able to start connecting those dots. Self-interest. Everyone wants to feel good. There isn't anything that anybody wants, whether it's a material object or a pile of money or a relationship or work that's satisfying or world peace. There isn't anything that anybody wants that is for any reason other than they believe they would feel good in the having of it. And we want to say, you'll feel good in the moving in the direction of it. And if you can consistently do that, it will come, and it will come, and the ideas will grow. And there will be plenty of people watching you who don't get this yet, who will be screaming at you about your unfair receiving of abundance while they are depriving themselves of their own. But you can't teach from a place of not knowing. Once you learn what that calibration is and how it feels, and here's the big thing. This is the big thing. When you calibrate for the feeling of it, just going to take a minute because you're right here ready to hear this. You can't make money materialize right now. You heard how long it took Esther to find that rug. An hour. Took an hour. So it depends on where you are vibrationally in relationship to anything. So we're not asking you to ask of yourself that you go directly to the manifested version of everything in the vortex. But we are asking you to go to the manifestation of being soothed, to go to the manifestation of feeling a little better, to go for the feeling, because the feeling's the reason you're doing it anyway. You want the money because you think you'll feel better. You want the well-being because you think you'll feel better, and you will. So if you can hear us and you can let your ulterior motive be, I want to line up with it so that I can be one. That's self-interest, friends. That's self-interest. Myself in alignment with my inner being self, that's the epitome of self-interest. And when you are in that kind of self-interest, the things that are in your vortex will rain down all around you in ways that you couldn't even conceive of. And you know why? Because when you've been putting the ingredients of the cake there, they've been mixing together and making all kinds of good things to eat. You just can't even fathom. You're not going to know most of it till you see it. But what you do know is this thought feels better. Feels better to hope than to doubt. And it feels better to trust. So we're just giving you the laws of the universe as they are. Do you notice that there's hardly ever a class where you all gather and the big banner and the instructor says, we're here to convince you about the law of gravity. Because you're self-taught. You're self-taught. It's everywhere you go so far. And you've learned to adapt to it. So when you learn about this law of attraction and you accept that your point of attraction is in your control and that the way you do the best within it is by merging with your inner being. You said when you got here, it's going to be good, it's going to be fun, it's going to be expansive. You didn't for a moment expect to deprive yourself of anything. You didn't expect anybody else to be deprived of it. But you also knew, and this is a big piece for you. Jerry used to like to go to a restaurant, and when they really connected well with the server, often he could have Esther do it because he was shy like that, but he'd give them $100 tip in addition to whatever the house needed to see. They didn't want the house to think that they didn't get good service and so they didn't tip. So they'd put it on the credit card bill, but then they'd give the person $100 and they'd say, we have a tradition in our family that when we find our favorite server or waiter for the month, we give them this. Well, Jerry and Esther were on a route around the country, so they went to a lot of the same places and the word kind of got out. Especially in San Antonio where they ate most frequently. And so when they'd walk in the door, they could see people scrambling to make sure that they got in their section. And quite often, a person would sit in the section knowing that Esther probably had $100 in her pocket that she was eager to give away. And then they would begin pleading their needy case. Oh yeah, things have been really hard for me. My roommate moved out, and I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent. And Jerry and Esther would always politely smile, and they would give them the usual tip that they gave, but they would not give them the extra money because the universe doesn't work that way. You don't get it when you're on that negative side of the equation. And yet, so much of what happens in the world, you think that you do your service when people are in need. And don't misunderstand. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would do all we could do when we could do it. We're not saying hold back. We're just saying understand that when someone is in alignment with their desire and you demonstrate what that means. In other words, they were bright and shiny and they were happy and they were tapped in, tuned in and turned on. And that was what Jerry and Esther were wanting to play with, not the neediness of them. And if anybody ever asked Jerry and Esther for something, they would give it, but not during a teaching opportunity. Do you get what we're talking about? And so there are so many people that believe that service should come from your place of really worrying about people. And we say that misguides them about the way the law of attraction works. It turns them into beggars and pleaders and people who are defeated, and they just can't beg enough into their experience. What you're looking for is the raining down of abundance that comes when you've launched rockets and your inner being's all over it and you've found a way to calibrate to that. And now the law of attraction is answering your bag of marbles because it's a bag of marbles that you've practiced. You see what we're getting at? Did you hear it? So when you get home and someone said, what did you learn? Don't say, Abraham said, don't give nothing to nobody. Because that isn't what we said. We're saying just understand when you're really helping. Understand what you're really emphasizing. And so in the same way that you're wanting to help others out in that way, you want to help yourself out in that way. Here's how you know this is a really good idea we just gave you. You know why you feel negative emotion? Because your inner being isn't joining you in your negative thought. You've decided you can't do it, or you're not worthy, or it's not working, or it's hard, or it's a struggle. And your inner being is having none of that. Because your inner being knows that you've asked and it's given. Someone should write a book. You've asked and it's given. And the abundance is everywhere. And when you get in sync with it, it will show itself to you in this way, and this way, and this way, and this way, and this way. And your inner being will not join you in your pity party. And that's why your pity party hurts so bad. Because you've cut yourself off. That's too strong a word. But you've pinched yourself off to some degree from the resources that are natural to you. Doesn't mean it's all you have to choose. You have great capacity because you're a pointer. You can point at what you want and line up with it, and all of that will line up for you at the same time that you're pointing other places too. It's not one or the other. It's not get it for yourself and don't be of value to anyone else. You can have it all. You just can't be positive and negative at the same time. You just can't be allowing and disallowing at the same time. You gotta pick one. You can't feel good and bad at the same time. Your bag of marbles is active. What's it emanating right now? Those like you who have meditated and played with us in gatherings like this, and you've tuned in and tapped in and turned on, you can't go back without feeling great discomfort. You can't focus. You can't push against anything without it being really hard on you. When Esther's mean to somebody, she might as well just shot him. That's how bad it feels to her. Because it's not who she is or who she wants to be or who she mostly is or who her inner being is. You're carrying around a bag of marbles. Make sure what's active all day, every day. And when you find out that what's active isn't really what you want, then don't be hard on yourself, but do your best to activate something else. The law of attraction isn't an arbitrator saying, she didn't mean to attract that, let's hold off on that. You get what's going on, you see. Don't be mad at yourself when you feel negative emotion. You want your guidance system to work. And you're more sensitive now that you're connected more of the time, so it works a lot. So don't be mad at yourself when you feel negative emotion. Next, if the negative emotion is slight, then in that moment, try to find some current existing thoughts that are on the other end of that stick. If this is the only thing that you ever heard from us, or really anyone, and you just listen to it every so often as you are moving through your new and new discovery of more and more allowing, without anything ever being added to these recordings, you will be in a receiving mode in a week for things that you weren't in a receiving mode for today. And so, even though you want to know something bigger than you're ready to know, you're going to hear enough today that will lead to the next, 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 that will lead to the next. There's no ending to your evolution. It's time to start enjoying the journey instead of just wanting to get there all at once. Start having fun with the winks from the universe that you're letting in. Because your inner being, who are here, every one of them, knows where you are in relationship to everything you want, and knows exactly how to lead you on your path of least resistance or your path of most allowance to it. Everything that you need to know to live happily ever after just happened. You are different now than you've ever been. Your point of attraction is shifted, and everything in your life will demonstrate that to you. Pay attention to that and connect those dots. We've enjoyed this more than anything that has ever been before. There is great love here for you.